as much as you do. I really do.
Hi. Mind if I join you? Viki, I'm so sorry, but we really must be going. Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry you missed Becky. Yes, so am I. Would you please give her my best regard when she finally does show up? Yes, of course. I'm sure it's like Edwina said. She probably just got delayed.
Becky, would you please tell Richard that I'll really be looking forward to reading his article?
Well, let's hope that he'll be better organized for them than he is in his own life. Excuse me. I can't wait until you confide in me to what you've done with the little country bumpkin. Dorian, I told you I've done nothing. Well, I sure hope that nothing was short of murder. I'm telling you the truth. Edwina, I absolutely adore you. But I don't believe you. Good night again.
As the only man left present in this household, could I do the honor of making any of you ladies another drink?
Yes, thank you. That would be very nice, Mr. Bottomley. Thank you. I'd like one, too. Mrs. Hopkins, I'm very sorry, but I couldn't help overhearing what you said earlier about the fact that you think you know what happened to Becky. What do you mean?
Well, it's just that I'm afraid I will never see that child again.
What about them dresses in the closet?
I don't want them.
They look new.
They are. They don't belong to me.
Well, what are they doing hanging in your closet?
They belong to somebody else who was here for a while.
Sissy boyfriend of yours on a red sports car?
Yeah.
He's still here. Get nothing in it except maybe two people and a little cat. You got a funny look on your face. You sick or something?
Maybe. Maybe I'm just sick of myself.
You love sick, ain't you? How could you fall in love with somebody like that there Richard? How could you run out on me for the likes of him?
You don't understand, Luke. I didn't leave you to find myself another man. Richard was an accident.
But how come you run off and come up here?
Because I wanted a different kind of life. I don't want to be like my mama, who just raise kids and look after a man. I wanted to sing. I wanted to be somebody.
You are somebody. You're Luke Jackson's wife. You just better get it in your head that that's enough.
I know.
Hey, somebody else pulling up.
Well, is there anything I can do?
I don't know.
I mean, this just doesn't make sense. I know she loved you, Richard.
Something's happened to her.
Richard's at Hall.
Yeah, what?
Well, nothing much, old buddy. I checked out all the reports on the accidents and the emergency rooms at the hospitals.
I'll get it.
And no one by Becky's name or description has shown up anywhere.
That's good, Ed. At least it's not hurt, huh? It's Riley. Abbott here?
Yeah, he's on the phone to the cops.
What should I do now? I mean, you got any advice? Well, not at the moment, Richard, but I'm coming over, so maybe I'll have something by the time I get there, okay?
Okay, thanks. Anything?
No. But at least she hasn't been in an accident. Ed's coming over here.
Well, a lot of good that'll do. She's not here.
Margot, any chance you've got something else to do?
Yeah, I got you.
I assume you've checked your room.
Yeah, I can't get in. It's locked.
Look, we're getting out of here. Let's just go.
Mr. Riley's here.
So what? I'm tired of waiting around.
Well, maybe later they'll all go.
Yeah, maybe they won't. Maybe they... Wait a minute. You know what I'm doing? I'm listening to you. Now just realize that's stupid. I'm your husband. Oh, why can't we just walk on out of here? Nobody's gonna say anything about a husband taking his wife somewhere.
Mr. Riley.
Now, who the hell is he?
I told you he's the editor in the newspaper.
I know, but what difference that makes?
He might put something in the newspaper about it. I don't want any publicity.
You don't anyway. Yeah, all right. Now, if we're gonna go, let's just go. Is there any kind of back way out of here?
Yeah, this back stairs lead down the kitchen.
Can we get out through the kitchen?
Yeah, we can go over the porch, or we can sneak around the side of the house.
All right, let's go right now.
You don't need that, Luke.
You just keep your mouth shut. I am the one that's in charge here. Now, let's go. Remember, and no trying to get away, yo.
Fussing over Richard and Becky all evening long. But then not to even have that distraction was even worse.
Well, I'm sure that's not exactly Viki's fault.
Well, don't you think she should have done something to try to entertain her guests while we were all just sitting around?
Well, Dorian, she was just preoccupied with worry over Becky, as most of us were, except you, of course.
It seems to me that if Becky can't manage to get to her own farewell party, how in the world is she ever going to manage to travel all around Europe?
Dorian, if you ever have the slightest chance to give a little charity, make sure you don't give in to it, huh? I mean, shove in the knife and give it a little twist on the way in. Oh. Well, why did you ask me over, please?
You're not very pleased with me, are you?
Let's just say that sometimes you make it very hard for even your friends to like you.
Maybe that's just because I'm not as sweet and as innocent as Melinda. I'm sorry I said that. You're right. Of course you're right. You're always right. I don't know what's happening to me. I'm always so negative and catty and petty.
And it's not in the least bit attractive.
I know that, Peter. I can't believe the things that I hear myself say. I mean, it just surprises me so. But I really am so glad that I have you around to point out to me what I'm doing.
But why do you do it?
I don't know for sure. I think it has something to do, about when I was first starting out and I was all on my own and I was really very insecure. And I wanted people to know that I was really very bright, I was aggressive, and I was someone that had to be dealt with. Not someone that you could just dismiss. But I'm afraid now it's become an end, rather than a means to an end. I really can't thank you enough, Peter.
What for? For letting you know I'm ticked off?
No, for telling me. I need you around, Peter. I really do. I like your influence. I just feel so much better when I'm with you. Well, what should I tell Cook to whip us up for supper?
I'm sorry, Dorian, but I can't stay for supper. I told you that.
Oh, that's right. Well, how about a nice little drink?
No, I can't stay for that either. I told Lynn that I was going to meet her, and I have a very early call tomorrow.
You always seem to have early calls, don't you? And such heavy work schedules. But of course, I guess since I'm partly responsible for that, I really can't complain too much, can I?
Would that happen to be a reference to the fact that you helped me get my position as chief of pediatrics?
Well, that is true, yes.
You do that a lot, you know. And I'm beginning to resent it. I mean, you did help me get the job, but I've had it for over a year. And I'm the one who's responsible for making it a success.
Well, of course, Peter. I mean, I'm not taking any credit at all for your marvelous record. And if you weren't doing a good job, I would be one of the first people to try to have you removed. Peter, please tell me, why are you so sensitive tonight?
I guess I'm just a little tired, Dorian, of a lot of things.
Well, since you obviously have to be going to get your needed sleep, please let me give you this present.
A present? Mm-hmm. What for?
Open it up. I'm sure you'll understand. Pre-Columbian. It was originally found in San Carlos.
It's lovely, Dorian. Touched. I had a collection of pieces like this in San Carlos just before Jenny and I had to leave because of the revolution. But I don't understand why you're giving this to me.
Well, I'm sure today you thought it was only important because it was Becky and Richard's farewell party. But it's also an anniversary for you, Peter. An anniversary when you got your medical license so that you could practice in the United States.
Of course. How could I forget that? It's been 2 years. Hadn't been for you and Victor.
Well, we were pleased for you then, and I'm very pleased for you now. You see, Peter, you've lived up to all of our expectations.
You are truly an amazing woman. Well, thank you. I have to be going.
Yes, of course.
Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Mrs. Hopkins, I hope you're wrong about what you said before about your feelings.
Yes, I hope so.
What feeling was that?
Nothing, Edwina. Come on in, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Viki, is it all right if I stay until we hear something from Joe and Richard?
Oh, yes, it is.
Thank you.
Edwina, do you have a clue about this?
No?
Except
I never trusted Becky as much as everyone else around here did.
Doesn't make any sense. It's like she's gone, but she's not gone. She took everything but her clothes for Europe, huh? She left the new clothes, the new luggage. She took her old clothes and the old bag and her cosmetics and stuff.
And her guitar.
The guitar.
Richard, this might be a little tough to take, but maybe she's running away from her new life, you know? I mean, the one she's supposed to start with you.
No, I can't believe that.
Well, look at what she took, look at what she left behind. The fact that she didn't leave a note. And the fact that she must have been in here when you found the door was locked. And it was unlocked when we got back.
She was here. Why didn't she let me in? I mean, why did she want to run away from me?
Maybe she panicked, huh? Maybe she felt it's time to live up to her commitment to you. I mean, to get married, to move away. Sorry, Abbott. She couldn't do it. Maybe she just didn't feel she was going to be able to settle down in Europe.
She loves me. She trusts me. She knows she's safe with me. She knows that. Something happened. Something made her go.
Well, now, look, there's no sign of violence in the room. She packed what she wanted, left what she didn't want. She didn't open the door to you. I mean, it may be painful, Richard, but it all adds up to her leaving of her own free will.
No, she didn't. God, I can still hear her voice. She was so afraid of making a commitment. She kept stalling, putting me off. Putting it off. She wanted to wait until we went to Europe to get married. Maybe she didn't even intend to go through with it. She was frightened. I've never been able to figure out what she was afraid of, or who it was, or what it was.
Abbott, let's get out of here, huh? Go back to my place.
Yeah, okay. Hey, wait a minute. The picture's gone from the frame.
What picture?
Of Becky and me. It's gone from the frame. Well, don't you see? That means something, doesn't it? It does.
Hello?
Oh, in here, Miss Hopkins.
Marco, is Becky here? Where's Richard?
And Mr. Reilly.
They're upstairs in Becky's room, I guess.
Hopkins. Becky's gone. She's left us.
Oh, Richard.
Did you know about this? She tells you everything. Where is she? Richard, calm down
Look, why don't you guys be cool? Becky didn't want to see you, Richard.
How did you know that?
Well, I ran into her in the kitchen a little while ago. She left her rent money and she turned around and split.
What the hell did he stop her? I told you. I was looking for her. I told you that.
Come on. All right, Marco, let's go back to the beginning. You walked into the kitchen, you found Becky there, right?
Yeah, putting money on the table.
Then what happened?
Well, she was nervous in a hurry. I called her name. She jumped about a foot. She put some rent money down on the table, and then she ran off. And I talked to her, and I did talk to her, Richard. She just turned around and ran away.
Margaret, was she alone?
Oh, yeah, she was alone. Alone and in one big hurry, too.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't believe it.
think you really could help me with my serve?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously what's on it, you've just got into a bad habit. You need someone to show you what you're doing wrong.
Right. It just hasn't got much power in it. And it's not because I'm not strong, because I am.
Hey, girl's in great shape here.
If you'll excuse me, folks, I think I'll go try to find a more appealing conversation to join. Excuse me. May I join you guys? Oh, yes, of course, then. Good. Thank you. Really getting bored with Brad and what's-her-face over there.
Bored? What are they talking about?
Tennis, supposedly.
I wonder if Becky ever showed up at the Rileys.
You mean she didn't show up at her own party?
No, not by the time we'd left.
That's kind of strange. Don't you think?
Yeah. Richard, shall I get you something to eat?
No, I want a drink. 2 drinks. Something to make my heart stop pounding.
You've got to try to relax.
Relax? My whole life's falling apart. Relax.
It's very difficult when you don't understand the reason that people do things.
I don't understand at all. To be different. If she came to me and said, I think I've made a mistake, I can't go through with it. That I could understand, but just running away from me.
Well, that seems to be her pattern, though. Remember how she came to Lambview with just a suitcase and a guitar case? She was very upset if anyone wanted to know anything about her past or where she'd been from.
Still can't believe she'd just leave me like that.
Probably because you don't want to, Abbott. Just like the rest of us when we're in love, there's certain things we don't want to believe or think.
And Wall said maybe she couldn't handle Europe.
Now, that sounds like a good possibility. You know how self-conscious she was about her hillbilly background, about her lack of education and class.
And you were one of the ones who made her feel self-conscious about that, weren't you?
Now, Richard, don't put all this on me.
All right.
I mean, I'm fascinated by Becky, and I really like her. But I could just never believe that she was as innocent as she passed herself off to be. But that's my honest opinion. I think you and everyone else were just too easily charmed. Edwina, I'm afraid I have to disagree with you. I always thought Becky was quite sincere.
You fell in love with her about 20 minutes after you met her, is that right?
It just doesn't make any sense, Mr. Reilly. I mean, I know all the facts point to her leaving voluntarily. And maybe I'm gullible because I'm in love with her, but I don't believe that she left voluntarily. I think there was something or somebody who made her leave, and that had nothing to do with her panicking about her going to Europe or anything like that.
Well, what could it have been?
I don't know. But I'm going to find out.
How are you going to go about that?
I've got the slightest idea.
Bothering my piano player again.
She looks like she's loving it.
Oh, I'm sure she does. And I can always tell when he's here because her music gets all mushy. What's the matter, Sam? I thought you said that was boring over there.
Well, only for me. They're having a wonderful time. Wait for me.
Okay.
Looks like your new leaf died on the vine already, didn't it, Brad?
Come on, Sam, we're talking, you know, talking.
Yeah, come on. The flirting's going on so heavily over here, I can feel vibrations across the room.
Are you sure they aren't the ones that you're directing to Tony?
I'm not the one who's married, Brad. I'm supposedly changing. For heaven's sake, can't you keep a promise that you made to yourself for more than an hour?
Sam, I didn't ask you to be my conscience, you know.
Well, yours doesn't seem to be working on me. Someone has to be it. Look, okay. Betty is attractive, and she's coming on to you, Brad, but you're married to Jenny. Remember Jenny?
Okay. You're right. When you're right, you're right. So we'll just mosey on home.
Are you really going home?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I'm really going home. I will walk home on a straight and narrow path, okay?
What happened to your brother? Well, you see, he's got this garden growing, and he had to go home and water some of the new leaves. You guys leaving so soon?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid I have an early day tomorrow. Good night.
Good night.
Good.
So, at last, you finally run out of people to talk to except me.
Well, I'm afraid that I don't know much about primitive art.
I really don't either, but I know that this is a fine piece.
Expensive?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Well, Dorian must really care about you. I mean, she's trying to buy you.
Yeah, that's the kind of remark I expect to hear from your sister, but never from you.
I'm sorry. It's just that I don't trust her. This thing that she bought you makes me feel competitive.
Why?
Because I can't buy you anything that lovely.
Hey, look, I'm not for sale. I never have been. I mean, no matter how much I appreciate this gift, it doesn't change a damn thing. You got me. I'm yours.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm being silly.
I'd rather kiss you. I really love you, you know.
Yes, I do, but part of me doesn't really trust you.
Why not?
Because I can't believe that I won. That I've got you and Dorian doesn't.
Well, look, this talk about competition and winning disturbs me. I mean, it's never been a contest. I love you as a person. And I sure hope that's the way you feel about me.
Of course I do.
You sure look pretty in that wig, Becky. I'm right proud of the way you sang, too.
Yeah. Nice while it lasted. Over now.
What the hell are you doing? You beer all over this thing?
Well, I don't need it anymore. My career's over.
Well, how come you say that? You still got your job down at the Blue Ridge Club.
Yeah, but we're going home.
No, I don't think so. The more I think about all them questions you couldn't answer, the more I think maybe it ain't such a good idea. You got yourself a right nice little life here. I just might settle in here and join you in it. What's all them tears for, woman?
I'm scared.
Scared of what, me?
No, I don't know. I'm scared of everything.
Oh, Becky. You got your loot. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm going to take good care of you, just like I did before. Becky?
Please, look, I don't feel like it now.
It don't matter. Okay, I'm going to count to 3. Then you're going to come on out of there. You're going to spend the whole night in there. Well, I'll go visit your boyfriend. I followed him home, you know. I know where he lives.
And I know how worried you are. But remember, Vicky's a fine, sensible girl. I can't explain her disappearing like this no more than anybody else, but I'm sure she wouldn't do anything foolish.
Ethan, I know what must have happened to Becky.
You know?
Because of what she told me about her life before she came here.
What?
I can't tell you that. I promised Becky.
Well, then you've got to tell the police. If she's in any kind of danger...
No.
You mean she's not in any danger, or...
I mean, there is nothing the police can do.
What about Richard? You're going to keep him in the dark, too? Ina, if you know anything at all, it might help. You've got to tell that boy.
Is there anything I can do?
Yes, you can go home and go to bed. I can take care of myself.
I shouldn't be left alone at a time like this. Who are you calling?
Ed Warren, I want to see if anything's happened. Since you're not showing Viki.
Fine.
Hello. Ed, can I speak to Ed Warren, please? Ed. Hi, it's Richard Abbott. Yeah, look, I'm just checking. I was wondering... Yeah, okay, I see. But you'll keep checking, right? Okay, I'll be here. Yeah, I'll be at home. Thanks a lot, Ed. Bye. Nothing.
Look, can I make you a pot of coffee? Something like that?
Oh, will you just go home and go to bed, huh?
And leave you here to pace up and down.
I'll be all right.
You keep saying that, but... Richard, does it bother you that I'm here?
Yes. I don't know why you're staying.
Why should I leave? I'm your old dear friend. What are friends for? Suppose something happens. Suppose that there are some more developments. Look, why don't you sit down and go through the events of the last few days? Maybe Becky said something that will give you a hint as to what was going on in her mind. You talk and I'll help you try to figure it out. Two heads are better than one, aren't they? Especially when the one head is so upset and confused. Please, Richard.
Becky, I mean it. You don't come out of there, I'll go after your boyfriend. You hear what I'm saying, girl?
You do that, you'll be in big trouble, Luke.
What you gonna do, call the police? Your boyfriend's gonna be sitting there with a scatter gun aimed at the front door, is he?
No, but the police will be. As soon as you leave here, I'm gonna call them up. And I'm gonna tell them where you're headed. And they'll get there before you
Don't
get...
give me that. You ain't gonna call no police.
Why wouldn't I?
Becky, we're wasting time. I got my .357 Magnum here. Remember how I used to throw them whiskey bottles off the bridge, shoot at them while they floated down the creek? Never saw me miss a one, did you? Last chance, Becky. You coming out or not?
Good, Edwina. I thought it all through. I thought of everything Becky said. I haven't got a clue.
All right. Well, let's go through it again. Why don't you sit down? Free associate.
Free associate. Becky was very excited about leaving tomorrow. I've never seen anybody so happy. In my life, she couldn't wait to get to Europe.
Maybe she's had a soggy qualm of conscience.
About what?
The fact that you weren't married, that you're going off to Europe to live together.
Oh, good grief, Edwina. If that was worrying her, we could have gotten married. I wanted to get married. You know, you're the wrong person to be talking to about this.
Why?
You never liked Becky.
Oh, Richard, you couldn't be more wrong about that. All right, I mean, Becky and I did come from different backgrounds, and I never did understand some of her ways. But she made you happy. That's all that matters to me. Can't you see that? Now, let's go about this logically. It's midnight, which means she's been gone for 4 hours.
Yeah, you can trust Marco Dane.
Now, why would he lie about things like running into her in Mrs. Hopkins' kitchen and then her running out the back door and then someone leaving that money on the kitchen table? Knowing Marco, I'm sure he wouldn't have done that.
It's just like Becky to leave that rent money. So honest.
Well, apparently she wasn't very honest with you. I'm not criticizing, I'm just observing. If she loved you that much, why didn't she tell you she was going to leave? She's left you in suspense, not knowing where she's gone. Why?
Hey, did you find her?
Ethan, I can't tell Richard what I know.
Why not?
Because it would just make things worse.
Don't see how they could be any worse.
Oh, well, they could be, believe me. Especially now that the police are looking for Becky. And if what she is afraid of is really happening.
Wait a minute, Ina. Does this have anything to do with the man you claim you saw the other day?
What man?
The day I come by here on my way home from work, you said you'd seen him through the window standing across the street.
Oh, yeah, that man.
You even said you knew who he was.
I did?
A member of Becky's family, you said, from North Carolina.
Well, that was just a guess, Ethan.
Didn't sound like guesswork at the time. Ina, if you have any information that might be helpful to the police...
It wouldn't be helpful. It would just be terrible for Becky if I told.
I'm not questioning your word, Ina, but I find that very hard to credit.
Really? Why?
Because you make it sound as though Becky had done something wrong, even criminal. And I can't imagine she's capable of anything like that.
No, Ethan. By your standards and by my standards, I promise you, Becky's done nothing wrong. But under the law, well, look, now we both know that sometimes people get forced into terrible situations, right? And when they're trying to get out of that situation, they sometimes commit desperate acts. You know, acts that the law doesn't approve of.
Ina, are you saying Becky did something like that?
Yes.
You know it for a fact?
She told me.
Then you've got to tell Richard.
No.
Why not?
Because I promised Becky that I wouldn't tell him. Listen, Ethan, I argued with the girl. I told her Richard loved her. I said that he'd stick by her, but I don't think she ever believed me. Oh, maybe she just up and left because she couldn't face him.
You mean you think it's going to come out what she did?
I think it really has already come out.
Then why would it hurt to tell? Ina, call Lieutenant Hall. Do it now.
You hear me, Becky?
I hear you.
I mean it. I'm heading for your boyfriend right now. If you don't come out that bathroom.
The minute you leave, I'm going to call the police. I mean that.
Sure you would. End up in jail.
How do you figure that? I don't have to tell him who's calling. I'll just call him up and I'll tell him you're headed for Richard beside a gun and you're after him. And then I'm going to light out of here. Nobody's ever going to see me again, including you. Sam?
I'm here. But not for long.
If you do, I'm going to scream.
police are gonna come. You're not gonna be able to get out of here.
Oh, no, you wouldn't do that.
You just try me.
Okay. Just go on. Start your yelling and screaming, beating on the door. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna hear you. Kind of gets you thinking, don't it?
What are you gonna do? I'll sit out there all night?
If I have to. But I kind of got me a feeling you're going to be coming to your senses pretty soon, Becky Lee. Can't say that forever, can you? Hey, let me tell you something. Sooner you come out of there, better off you're going to be. Now, mind you, I ain't saying you're going to be well off. But you're sure going to be a whole lot more easy on yourself if you do. Hey, just think that over, girl. Right now, I'm going to take me a little nap. Now, don't get no ideas about rushing out of there. Because you make one move, I'm going to be so wide awake you wouldn't believe it. You remember what a light sleeper I always was, don't you?
I don't have anything new to tell you, Richard, but I would like to talk to you for a few minutes, okay?
Yeah, come on in, Ed, huh?
Thank you. Oh, hello, Edwina.
I'm just here hoping there's something I can do to help.
I see. Well, Richard, I didn't want to tell you this over the telephone, but I don't think there's any justification for the police department to get involved in this, so what I do, I'll do as a friend.
Why not? Becky's missing.
Well, we're not mentally incompetent, and there's no evidence of foul play.
And you're saying that one of those conditions would have to apply before she could be listed as a missing person?
That's right.
Oh, so you're just going to wash your hands of the whole matter?
Richard, you're not listening to me. I said I would do everything I can to help find Becky, but only as a friend. I just wanted you to know that we're not going to have the whole facility to the police department to help us.
All right. Well, there's got to be something we can do, you and me.
And I'll help, too.
Go to the bank tomorrow and close out our accounts and get some travel checks for the trip.
Yeah, well, she could have done that today without you knowing about it. A little later on. I'll go by the bank tomorrow and try to make a little informal inquiry. I'm sure they'll give me... All right. Of course, somebody could have picked her up. And if that's the case, they could be over 200 miles away from there in any direction by now.
No, who? I mean, who would she go off with like that?
Lieutenant Hall's just listing possibilities.
Well, that's assuming that Margaret Dane was telling the truth about seeing Becky leave Mrs. Hopkins' back door at 8 o'clock.
Why would he lie?
I don't know. Why would Margaret Dane do anything? I wouldn't trust him. It doesn't make any sense. She wouldn't leave without telling me first.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with you, Richard, but for one other possibility. Becky could have left with another man.
Did you have any ideas at all?
No, I wish I did.
Well, I thought you might. I mean, spent a lot of time with Becky.
Well, she really didn't confide in me, Peter. She was a very private person. Kind of kept her feelings to herself. You know, I just don't think that Becky would pick up and leave town.
Why not?
Well, because of the way she felt about Richard. That was the one thing that she was open about. She really loved him. I mean, she was so excited about starting her life in Europe.
Oh, I tell you. Right about now, Richard must feel like a whole building fell on him. I I know how I'd feel if you suddenly dropped out of my life.
I wouldn't.
Promise?
You couldn't drive me to it. That's why I don't understand Becky. I know that she felt the same way about Richard. And yet...
What?
Well, you know, it's kind of strange.